The 1930s Revisited, the 24th of March 1933. Top 5 News, starting in the United Kingdom. In Britain's House of Lords, the Marquess of Salisbury declared that any suggestion that a bath was a requirement of a civilised home was ludicrous. "I think," recalled His Eminence, "there was one fixed bath in Hatfield House when I remember it. There may have been 2. There was certainly not more." Lord Salisbury was adamant that a bath was a luxury and certainly not something that his servants, let alone the wider population, should be entitled to. Meanwhile, in the United States, questions raised during a congressional committee revealed that the American government intended to send 250,000 unemployed men to work in the forests. They would be given regulation clothing and forced to work for a mere $1 a day, doing work under prison-like conditions that until then had been done for $3 or $4 a day. Francis Perkins, Secretary of Labour, asserted that it might be a good thing to separate a jobless man from his family for a year. Responding to attacks in Nazi Germany on Jews, trade unionists and journalists, 1,000 workers in Cleveland, Ohio, marched on the German consulate. Similarly, in Britain, workers from southeast London demonstrated outside the German embassy, while across the city's East End, flyers were posted on walls calling for a boycott of German goods. In Nazi Germany, one of the earliest concentration camps for political prisoners was set up at Stuttgart to accommodate 1,500 detainees. And in the Rhineland towns of Landau and Pirmasens, Nazi officials froze the bank accounts of all Jews who had taken up residence since the First World War. Meanwhile, in the city of Wiesbaden, pro-Nazi mobs forced the closure of Jewish shops and attacked Jews in the streets. The Times played down the implications, misleadingly claiming that the excesses were disapproved of by local Nazi leaders. In Berlin, Germany's aging President Hindenburg signed the Enabling Bill into law, giving Hitler unprecedented powers to rule by decree and dissolve workers' unions. Although Hitler's Nazi Party held only a minority of the seats in the Reichstag, they had been able to use a combination of intimidation and anti-communist propaganda to gain the 2/3 majority they needed. 4 weeks earlier, the Reichstag had been burned down, and Hitler was able to use the incident to claim that the communists were planning to take over the country so he could get the consent of the establishment to abolish key constitutional protections such as the right to assembly and free speech. Some British newspapers had cheered on the murderous crackdown, including the Daily Telegraph, which argued that the established authority has every right to take measures for its own protection while the ruins of its Parliament House are still smoking. Thank you for watching. Comments are welcome. Please like and subscribe.